Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to a new edition of Lunch with the Shark. I am your host, Vidal, the Shark CFO Espinosa, and what a week, ladies and gentlemen. But what an amazing week this has been, right? A lot of things going on. FDA approved the vaccine. I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm going to leave my political points of view to the side. It's Friday, TGIF, and we're ready to start a new weekend. We're ready to decompress. We're ready to purge. We're ready to unplug our brains from our main business and focus in ourselves, focus in our families, focus in our friends, even though they're asking us to do it from afar. Let's just keep in touch with everybody through our phones, emails, Zoom, and any way possible you can connect, be present, be there. Most important, be there for yourself. Most important, be there for your loved ones. Okay? So let's continue and let's end up this week's series about budgeting. Yesterday we asked the questions what questions did I need to ask to prepare a budget? How do I prepare a budget? I think I've drilled in your mind, in your head, how important a budget is, how important the projections are, how important your wishes and desires need to be translated into dineros and put into a budget spreadsheet, projection, forecast, analyze, understand, never assume the things that can happen. Always write down your goals, wishes, and desires. They'll become something. Okay? So today, we're going to talk about the consequences of projects that go over budget. Fuck that. I'm going to tell you one story, and you're going to be like, what the fuck? Yes. Look, I've been in business as an accountant for over 20 years. Okay, so don't try to calculate my age because I'm 47. There, plain and simple. I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of business proposals, business plans through the course of my career. And I've said numerous times in this broadcasts and on other scenarios, whenever you are budgeting, projecting, predicting, estimating, hoping with your pro forma financial statements, which is in reality a budget for the get-go of a brand new business, do it as accurate and as realistic as possible. What do I mean about that? People, if you are really forecasting, projecting, predicting, budgeting, okay, profits immediately from the get-go for the very first year in your brand new business, why don't you invest your own money or your family's money or your friends' money into that business. It does not make sense to seek investors. Be realistic when it comes to your budgets. Be realistic when it comes to your forecasting. Be realistic. Be realistic. Do your homework. Do your due diligence when it comes to all your budgeting, forecasting. Okay? Please. Once upon a time, several years ago, we were consulting for a restaurateur that was coming from Mexico to San Diego. And they had budgeted a certain amount of money to build, remodel, furbish, equip their restaurant. And after I reviewed their numbers, I said, you know what? You are going to be short by a shitload of money. They're, oh, no. We have 120 restaurants in Mexico, and we know our business. Good for you. You know your business in Mexico. What you are not considering is that, first of all, you're coming to the US. And second, you are in San Diego County. And thirdly, okay, this is US dollars. Well, to make a long story short, they actually under budget their opening budget by $1 million. They were short $1 million. Listen, they actually budgeted $900,000 to rent, remodel, furbish, and equip, and cash working capital for 3 months to open the restaurant. They came short $1 million. It actually cost them $2 million to open the very first restaurant in San Diego. What do you do if you under budget? What do you do if that happens to you? While routine business operations keep your business functioning, projects are what propel and advance your company. From integrating new technology systems to marketing research, projects are used in almost every area of your business. Some projects may be limited in scope, but large projects can require dedicated employees, time, and a budget. Sticking to a budget is essential to help ensure the project contributes to your long-term business goals. First and foremost, financial stability. Projects that go over budget can affect your financial stability. Increased prices, employee overtime, and poor initial cost estimates can cause projects to take more time and money than initially planned. While some of the capital cost of large projects can be spread over time and many be financed through loans, the immediate cost of labor and supplies usually require dipping into your available cash. Withdrawing funds from your bank account can affect you immediate liquidity, your cash flow, and your ability to pay for other business expenses such as utility and employee retention. This is what happened to this organization. They budgeted for this project $1 million. They required $2 million. Guess where the money came from? The owners, the investors had an agreement. They were going to go 50-50. What if one of the investors had no access or short access to a line of credit, to additional capital, to a loan, to cash? Each of them had to invest an additional $500,000. What if I had only committed $500,000? The project would have died. The project would have flunked. The project would have gone under. They would have had to renegotiate the agreements that they had. $1 million, it's not a lot of money for some of us. $1 million in reality for business, it's not a lot of money, really. And for anybody, shouldn't be a lot of money. It's just $1 million. It's not a lot, really. Really, I'm telling you. So getting an additional line of credit for $500,000 from each investor, actually one of the investors having to pull out $500,000 from their 120 restaurants, it wasn't that big of a deal for them. It could have been a big deal because under budgeting for this project could actually have cost them $1 million. They could have lost the initial investment because of the lack of proper budgeting, proper analyzing, proper due diligence. Reputation. Going over a project's budget can affect the reputation of your overall business. Project managers and executive leadership. Public companies can face increased scrutiny from current investors, analysts, and potential investors if publicized projects are not done on time and to budget. I can tell you stories from Disney. Disney generally pull out their projects during their D23 conventions or when they present their annual results to their shareholders at their annual meeting. And in those meetings and or events, they actually present a estimated budget to either develop a new land at each of their theme parks, develop a new resort, develop a new area, build a new cruise ship, or whatever they're projecting, right? And it's done publicly. Let's say that, or let's use the example that they've done or they did recently. $1 billion for Star Wars or $2 billion for Galaxy's Edge. Their project was under budget. They under budgeted that project. So in order for them not to lose the reputation with their shareholders or the public or the media, they actually cut certain areas from that theme land. They actually eliminated certain attractions. They sure did leave space for when they do a revision in the theme land, they can add it. They know how to work their own system. But what if they had to come back a year later, once they broke ground and once they got the $2 billion approved and so forth, and to the shareholders and to the media and say, oh, you know what? We screwed up. We actually, we need $1 billion more, because otherwise we'll end up with just holes in the ground. That wouldn't look good, right? So private companies can still face negative backlash from partner companies, private investors, and even customers. Being able to accurately project a budget and stick to the original financial constraints is viewed as prudent management. Profits. Projects perfected for clients that go over budget can affect your company profit. If the project is performed on a contract basis, you are likely held to many of the initial cost estimates you provided to gain the work. Your business may have to absorb any cost overage, which will lessen your profit. If the project goes too far over the initial budget, your company may lose money on the job. Even if your project is not contract-based, going over budget can strain relationships with your clients and business partners if it cuts into your profit margin. Listen, when you quote a project, and once you start doing the project and the project is approved, and you realize that you undercharged, you're going to get resentful, not with yourself because of our ego. You're going to get resentful with your client. And that's when issues start occurring. You're going to start to try to cut as much costs as possible, start cutting corners and delivering a lesser quality product or service. Remember a couple of days ago when we spoke about the quality of the ceramic for those mugs? Well, that could happen overall. Let's say that you provide a service and you quoted 100 hours. And in reality, it's turning to be a project of 150 hours. You screwed. You are in for the hook for 50 additional hours. Now, if you're an attorney, if you're an accountant, and you work on an hourly basis, then you can charge them based on the hourly basis, right? That's not a problem. But if you quoted them your hourly rate at $100 an hour, that's it. That's all, right? So you need to do your homework once, twice, 3 times to make sure that that project is quoted properly so you can earn those profits that you are seeking. Okay? It's very important. That's also budgeting. When you create a business proposal, when you create your cost of sales for maybe the cell phone that you're selling, okay, that's also budgeting, right? I can give you an example about a former client of ours. They were a restaurant, not the one that cost them $2 million to open, another one, right? And when we came in, they're like, dude, you know what? Our catering department, it's carrying the whole weight of the company, of the restaurant. I'm like, are you sure? Yes. Okay, that's good. That's amazing. Let's focus on the catering section or catering area of the business, because we might be able to even reduce your restaurant and just focus on a catering and phase from a restaurant to a catering company. But first, let's analyze your numbers. They did not have financials, okay? But since the catering for Saturdays, Fridays, and Saturdays was a bigger volume than what it was for their regular sales in the dining room for the restaurant, they thought, it was their belief, It was their hallucination that they were making money on the catering company. Well, it turns out that whomever did the cost calculation per dish that they were selling through the catering did it wrong. They were actually losing $5, and that's a lot of money. $5, it's not a lot of money. But when it comes to business, to a catering company, and where you're doing 2,000, 3,000 dishes per weekend, $5, it's a shitload of money. That's $10,000 a week times 52. That's $520,000 that they were losing a year. When I told them that, it's like, no, it's not possible. When I showed them with actual numbers and receipts, they almost killed among themselves. They have actually lost close to $1 million in a 3 years period. Close to $1 million in close to 3 years. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand what that does to a business? They were in the burst of bankruptcy. Productivity. When your business projects runs over budget or schedule, it can affect productivity. Yes. Employees who were scheduled to work on other projects can be delayed. Needed supplies can be unavailable, and the additional funds needed to finish the project can leave less funds for other projects or business functions. Additionally, the blame game that can occur to justify project costs takes time and increases the frustration level of project participants. Resentment. You did this this projection. You did this calculation. You were the responsible for keeping our numbers. If budgets, estimates are inaccurate, productivity, it's going to be lacking. Productivity, it's going to go out the window. It's very important that you understand that through the whole roadmap of your business, you're going to encounter different types of forecasts, different types of budgets, different types of predictions. Listen, even if you've been in business for years, every time you create a proposal, every time you create a budget for your new year, for the next 5 years, you are predicting the future. Yes, you might have historical data pertaining your business. But as I said a couple of days ago, 2021, it's going to be a crucial year for humanity. 2021 is going to be a very interesting year for businesses. Micro, small, medium, large, multi-world conglomerates. Pretty much we all are going to start from scratch. 2020 was a year of stability, pivoting, resilience. Fuck the new normal. I hate that word, that phrase, new normal. There's no such thing as new normal. Every freaking day it's a new normal. It's a new opportunity, a new day, a new things, right? So fuck the new normal. Start from zero. whatever you've gained of knowledge through the years in your business, through the months that you've been in business, utilize it and start from zero. Start from the ground up, rebuilding or building on top of what you already have. That's what's called a base zero budget. Yes, to all our clients, to all our former clients, you guys have financials that we provided you. Utilize them. Analyze them with us. Let me read them to you and ask me those 8 important questions that we tackled yesterday, and any additional question that you might have on how to create that forecast, how to get that little magic ball, right? Where I can see the future of my company based on my data. Yes, your company data. Follow us on Facebook. Look for us on search bar, Invictus Advisors USA. And we have special posts there from also Lunch with a Shark, exercises, some documents, and interesting things, quotes, memes, and give us a like. Share it with your friends. Give us a call. Book a consultation with us. We are in the last weeks of this amazing 2020, where we've learned how capable and how strong we are. We are strong. It's not easy what humanity is going through right now. It's unseen for our generation. And so far, we made it through. So, Jesus, thank you so much for the quote. And today's quote, and to finish this week, comes from Joe Biden, the president-elect to the United States of North America. He said, "Don't tell me what you value. Show me your budget, and I'll tell you what you value." It's a very interesting quote. I'm going to give it to him. It's a good quote. I'm going to give it to you, Jesus. It's a good quote. Show me your budget. I'll tell you what you value. Unplug. Decompress. Purge. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy yourself. Take time for yourself. Clear your mind. Take this weekend to relax. Enjoy the holiday season. Enjoy any holiday that you celebrate. Be safe. Bon appetit. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with the Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com, and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.